mixing my eggs, as you saw on the
last episode we put our 2 pieces of bread in the toaster, and she went back to cooking her eggs. That way they did not burn. And that's actually what you would like to do. That way your eggs don't get burnt or anything. You would like, once you pop the bread in the toaster, you would like to get back to your eggs and let them actually be burnt.
And if you don't, then they'll be really burnt, and you won't want to eat them anymore. So they won't be good.
That would be kind of wasted, basically. In this episode, we're going to be putting the cheese and the rest of the stuff in there so you can finish making a sandwich. And you see how her eggs are like, they're like
restaurant eggs.
Yeah, basically like that. But as I was saying, like they're basically like when she mixes them up, it looks like they're kind of jumping. That's a good thing.
You kind of let your cheese sit by the oven or the stove or whatever you call it, so it can melt, so it'll be good enough and won't be cold and everything else while you put it in your eggs, but it's still gonna melt with your eggs. You see how easy that was to break this apart?
And see how they're actually almost in the same size as squares.
Okay, here we go.
She's just gonna stir them up, and as they hit the bottom of the pan, they're actually gonna start melting. So that's why you would like to mix it up. That way, if it gets to the pan, it can actually still get on the eggs.
See, here we go. You see the cheese melting?
See, this is a nice piece right here. Wait, she just missed it. There it is, right there. Boom. You might want to check on your bread since you bumped it up a little higher.
Hey.
They're actually really perfect. They're actually perfect.
But you could also
she put it on 5, so that's why it's like burnt but not burnt, but it's a nice decent, brownish.
Okay, my eggs is almost finished. I want them to be juicy, but then I want them to be cooked so they won't be nasty.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm put a little bit of extra pepper in this.
Because remember from last episode, before she started cooking them, as she was whisking them, she put salt and pepper in it. But if you want a little bit more flavor to it, as you're cooking it, you can put some in there also.
Okay. And if you want your stuff off the fork,
just grab an extra knife or just use the fork and wipe it off.
Please do not use your fingers if you're cooking for other guests. Because if you are, that's just plain nasty.
Especially if you don't wash your hands. But if you don't want to wash extra dishes, if you want to get off the fork, you can just like wipe the fork off with the sides. But be careful because you might get it on the little stove pad, and then it's going to smell like you're burnt, and then your parents probably won't let you cook anymore.
See that little bit of cheese right there?
Right there, I see it right there.
It's like really
melted.
Yes.
You should put your other bread in there.
No, not yet. I have to put butter on these two that are already cooked, because if I put butter on these ones that's cooking, then it's just gonna mess up the whole thing and it's just gonna break it.
Sometimes that it's easier if you put butter, nut butter in the bowl or something. Just dip your toast and dump it in there like that.
Go get me that other thing.
Okay, guys, if you have a barbecue, you know that little thing that you brush barbecue sauce on with on the chicken, you can either use this to put the butter on the toast, or you can just get a pot, or not a pot, a bowl or something, melt your butter in there and just dip your toast in there and like flip it over. But this is actually an easier way because it don't get all soggy. Oh, she's just gonna cut it out. And as you're cutting it, if it's only one person, you still want to make sure that your eggs are not burning or anything.
Okay. This is how I'm actually gonna cut it. So it might or may not fall in the bowl. And make sure you do not use too much butter if you don't have that much butter in the house. And I'm pretty sure that we have more butter.
Butter sticks, yeah, we have a little pack and everything.
this.
And like she said earlier, do not use your hands. I repeat, do not use your hands if you are cooking for other guests. Because that's nasty. They do not know where your hands been. And then if they don't know where your hands have been, they might not eat it. And then that's probably going to make you feel very bad. So, okay. Now,
I have to check on my eggs.
make sure they're not burnt.
Now, I'm going to start turning this off.
But it's still cooking. That's why she turned it off. Because if like you turn it, if you keep it on, about time you get done with it, like your stove will still be on. So about time you take the pan off of the easel, it'll easily turn it off, and it won't take as long to turn it off. Then your mom won't be saying nothing, or if you have a little sibling, if they touch the stove, it won't be on or anything like that. But still keep your siblings for touching
Now
stuff.
we're going to put this in the microwave for about 30 seconds. I guess this is the leftovers from last night.
I didn't even know that we cooked last night. Put it on 20 seconds. You can either put it on 20 seconds, 10, or 30 seconds, but it does not matter. And I'm going to go over here and look at the... Want me to get your stuff out for you?
Yes, please.
And her butter looks kind of melted. See that?
Okay, is my butter melted? And is that enough? I don't think this is.
Quite enough.
So, I'm going to cut more.
I said my hand's starting to hurt. See if I can like put this somewhere over here or something. Fit there.
I'm going to show you at the end. Okay? To give you credit.
This is see guys, her eggs look all fluffy. That's what I was trying to get out earlier today. It doesn't look like it's jumping, but it looks fluffy.
Oh, that's the noise of the butter. I thought it was like.
Can y'all see that? The little white, not white, blue ball.
Right.
And that's what the butter will look like. It'll look all fuzzy. Come over here. Sorry.
Because it's just now getting cooked.
Like
And
it's
now-
still kind of, you know.
I'm going to take.
You're gonna take the
pieces of bread. And you know,
get the barbecue
Yeah.
spreader.
it doesn't look like any butters on here, but it is.
You'll be able to tell that after you put it on there. She'll show you. It'll look all like,
Wet.
yeah.
And if your bread comes out like this, do not put it back in the oven. Or either in the toaster. You could use either one.
If you don't have a toaster, you can put it in the oven. I'm pretty sure you have an oven, so don't, you know. But the toaster is actually the fastest way. Actually, let's go check on our toast.
That is nice and done.
Yeah. I couldn't get it. I only got one hand.
Okay. Now
Just
I'm
gonna
gonna
use.
go back over here
I'm gonna
and get my oven. You see, you need
see how that looks all like wet. That's how you know that it's on there. You see, it's a decent size, a decent amount of butter to put on this piece of toast.
we might have to make more because I still have to put some.
Yeah. So if you if you don't want to keep going back and forth, I would recommend you put in a lot of butter in there. But if you don't have a lot of butter, I would see how much before you start cooking the eggs and stuff like that. It would really be smart to look and see how many ingredients you got before you make the stuff. So look at how much butter you got. If you're making 2 sandwiches, I'm pretty sure that you have a lot of butter. But if you only have a little bit of butter, I would really recommend you using 1 sandwich.
Okay, after this one, I'm gonna put this back in the refrigerator because it's look like it's really melted.
Hold on, I'll be back. I gotta go get something. Hold on, guys. I'll be back.
Okay. I'm about to go melt some more butter. So, you guys, here we go.
Sorry, guys, but I had to go do something, so I have to use my little stand that I have. And we're actually going to stop the video here because we're on 11 minutes and we have 15 minutes to record. So we will see you guys in the next episode, and that will probably be the finale. And I will see you guys next time.